the big eye. My school bell. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Sarah Sullivan, and I want to welcome you all to the University Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. Welcome members and friends, welcome guests, visitors, and welcome to the people who've joined us online as well. We're all really happy that you came here today. And if you would join me in recognizing the wonderful prelude that Janet sang and Alicia accompanied. A few housekeeping items. If you have a phone with you, you might want to turn off the ringer so that it doesn't compete with the music that we're going to have today. If for some reason you need to leave quickly, that we need to evacuate, remember we have 3 doors. One door is here, one door out to the Memorial Garden and then out, and a third door here. And finally, we want to remind everyone that it's flu and cold season, and a new strain of COVID is here, so if you're feeling sick, please, we urge you to stay home, be kind to the rest of us, and you can always watch our Sunday service on YouTube or the Zoom watch party. All right, committee moments we're going to keep very brief today because we have a lot of music in store. Miguel, if you would go to the next slide. These are the committee updates for today. October 28th is work day, September 20th car seat check, September 27th is market days, September 30th David Novak's storytelling event, October 6th women's group, October 13th film club with Halloween, and October 21st is the Pride event. Are there any other announcements, or are we good? All right, lightning speed. All right then. Opening words, I have some opening words, and Stephanie also has some opening words. So I think music is in itself healing. It's an explosive expression of humanity. It's something we are all touched by. No matter what culture we're from, everyone loves music. And that was said by Billy Joel. So. All right, Stephanie, do you want to come up?
It's working. I want to talk about my very favorite topic these days, congregational singing. Years ago in Columbus, Ohio, I was part of a sort of hippie community. We weren't a commune, but we were, well, something close. Anyhow, anyway, we had, there was a woman in the group who decided she wanted to start Sunday afternoon sing-alongs at her house. And we all gathered together, a bunch of old hippies and their kids, and in some cases grandkids. Everybody brought food, everybody brought instruments if they had them, and everybody came ready to sing. And over a period of years, we became a very, very solid community just through singing and sharing food together. So I think congregational singing is a tool for community building. My next point is that everybody's a singer. Everybody. And I'll tell you a story about Donnie, Dr. Donnie. I used to be a professor of voice at Ohio State. Dr. Donnie turned up in my studio one day. He was a new doctor, surgeon, who liked to sing while doing surgery. And everybody on his surgical team, and this helped him concentrate. It was something that was very important to him. And everybody on his team said, Dr. Johnny, please stop singing, because he was terrible. And I can confirm, yep, terrible. I couldn't hold a note, but he was still a singer, because he loved it. He loved it so much. I tried everything to get him to sing, hear pitches. It is the one and only case of true tone deafness I think I've ever run into. So what I learned from Dr. Donnie was that he should, like Martin Luther said, sin boldly. I say sing boldly. It doesn't matter what you sound like or how you think you sound. You probably sound better than you think. So it's about inclusion. Everybody's a singer. Trust. Congregational singing is about trust. We have to trust one another to all take part so that nobody feels singled out or has to be self-conscious. If we all sing boldly if you want to think of it that way, then who cares? So just take a chance and trust your neighbor to support you in song. Years ago, also on the Ohio State campus, I was invited by some of my students to come to a campus bar on Saturday night. I said, okay, because when I was in graduate school and undergraduate school, I was too busy. I didn't get to go to bars. And I didn't drink, so I didn't think I'd have had much fun. But at Ohio State, there's this song, Hang On Sleepy. Well, after a few drinks, when that song comes on, everybody sings it. Everybody. My word, every kind of voice you could imagine hearing would be at the top of their lungs, and you'd hear it all up and down High Street in Columbus at the exact same time at night, because all the bars played it at the same time. And so you could walk outside and you'd hear Hang On Sleepy, or in some cases Snoopy, because nobody knew the actual words.
Right.
So but who cares? Trust everybody to sing or sing together. The last thing congregational singing is joy. It's not about perfection. Forget perfection. Perfection is for, I don't even know what. There's no point in perfection. It's about making a joyful noise together. That's all that matters. So, we're about to do a song you all know. We're going to sing together, Sing a Song from Sesame Street, written by Joe Raposo way back in the day. And the recording we're going to use is a track from the Carpenters version of it, which I'm sure y'all heard on the radio way back when. And so, let's sing it together. You ready? Hit it, Miguel. hug anybody else because I hate that. So,
Wow. That was wonderful. Join me in another round of applause. Thank you, Stephanie. All right. Our chalice lighter today is Anastasia. Her pronouns are she and her, and she's 10 years old. And she's excited because her mom is making an appointment to make her hair shorter. Please join me. In the light of truth and the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. And our society's affirmation: love is the spirit of this church, and service is its gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth in love, and to help one another. So, we welcome everyone who is new here and chose to join us either in person or online. And if everybody would please welcome the people online with me. We're glad you're here. Today is Music Sunday, which is a tradition where we center the entire service around music. Other Sundays may be more spiritual, they may be more socially minded, they may be thought-provoking. So come back and let us get to know you and come and see what we have to offer. And now we move to our time of joys and concerns. Sharing the important events in our lives is what brings us closer in community. So please come up to the microphone if you want to briefly share your joy or concern. And go ahead, remember that this is being broadcast online, so don't share anything you don't want the entire internet to know. So come on up here and then I'll put a stone in the chalice for you.
Hello, my joy is that we decorated for Halloween and Mom got a big spider and skeleton.
My joy is that I've lived a pretty long life. My concern is that many of my friends are all of a sudden dying. And it's difficult, guys. It's some of them younger, some of them older, but all of us, they're just dropping dead. And it's sad.
My father always says growing old is not for sissies. Okay, so you ever find that life goes along, and then all of a sudden everything hits a snag? And this won't move forward, or that has an obstacle, or this is a pain in the ass. I'm in that right now. And I could use some positive energy. The good news is, one thing that isn't a snag is I go get my biopsy Tuesday, and my dear, most wonderful friend, Lindsay, is going to, because they, sort of put you half under, she'll be getting my ride to and from the hospital, and so that leads me to another joy, which is having a friend like Lindsay. She's the best friend you'll ever have. Always there, always willing to help. It's just amazing.
Morning, Marianne. First of all, I want to share that a couple weeks ago, we had Katie Murphy, who spoke to us about the situation in the schools. So she sent the most lovely email back. Martha shared it. So she wanted everyone to know that the honorarium she donated to the PTA for scholarships, people to go to the conference. But she also made comment in reference to how wonderful this congregation was, how welcoming, how warm, how much love she felt in just the brief time she was here. So I just want to share that because I think we don't recognize what a wonderful thing we have. And the other joy I have is that Miak is okay. Welcome back, Miak.
Morning again, y'all. I'm Stephanie, and my pronouns are she, her, and or they, them. Take your pick. And I have a bunch of concerns that I'm going to consolidate into one. Although I feel much better than I have in years and years and years, and I have a lot more energy, I have some serious health problems laying down the road for me. I'm having an MRI this week, and my breasts are being dealt with. I don't know when. They haven't told me a date yet. But, you know, I'm not the happiest camper about all that, but I'm okay. What can I say? It'll all be fine. So the other thing, my joys, I have a couple of joys. One is, well, actually I have three. One is that my very favorite author, who shall remain nameless, has a new book out on audio called Hearts Forged in Dragonfire. If you didn't catch that, you can go back and look at the tape on YouTube later to get it. It's Hearts Forged in Dragonfire by my favorite author in the whole wide world. So I hope you'll have a listen. It's a great audiobook. Anyway, the other joys are that I'm going to be performing this afternoon at Breakthrough Theater at 3 o'clock p.m., singing a song by The Chicks, and also a bunch of other stuff. I don't even know what yet. They'll tell me when I get there. And then the third joy is that I will not be here next week. Sorry, guys, but that is a joy. My husband and I are taking a day to be elsewhere. So yay for us. Okay, here you go.
Well, it doesn't matter. Okay. My joy was I watched a show, Steve and Maggie story.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I have a joy and a concern. My joy is I love music. I'm so glad we're having a music day. I think all of my best memories in my life had music involved, so that's wonderful. My sorrow is that I had a colleague last week lose her 21-year-old daughter to mental health, and September is Suicide Awareness Month, and we are blessed to have a community here. I know I haven't been here long, but I feel a community here, and that's part of it. And so I just encourage anyone who's struggling, please, please reach out, because you have people. I'm here for all of you, and I know you're here for me, so thank you.
Hi, my name is Jamie, and my joy is my niece.
Passing her around would be lovely. Martha, do we have anything online? Okay. Thank you to everyone who shared joys and concerns, and if we could please take a moment to just meditate silently on all the things that were shared, and also the joys and concerns in people's hearts that remain unspoken. Thank you. Lindsay, do you want to come up? Our Time for All Ages will be led by Lindsay Stroh, leading a song with a very intriguing title.
This one working? Hi. I was thinking about when we come here. I come here, one of the reasons I come here is because it's interesting. This is an interesting place. You can tell by people's faces that they're looking forward. Interesting faces. Who can tell me what is a word that's the opposite of interesting? Boring. That's right. And so if you would help me when I sing boring, if you would echo boring, give it a little attitude. Boring, okay? All right? If we had some crayons all brand new, if all the crayons were bright blue, we'd draw blue lakes, blue butterflies, blue kitty cats with big blue eyes, a bright blue sun and a bright blue sky. We could draw blue houses with blue doors, yours like mine and mine like yours, blue cars parked in blue driveways, blue food for dinner every day, over and over and over again. Oh, that would be boring. Boring. Everyone likes so boring. Boring. Makes me feel like snoring. Everything the same. If people were all the same everywhere, same color skin, same color hair, same smile, same ears, eyes of blue, you'd look like me and I'd look like you. No one would know just who was who. In the same world we'd all be tall, hands real big and feet real small, same shirt, same pants, same fuzzy coat, and we'd sing every song in just one note. Every song we sing would sound like this. Oh, that would be boring. Boring. Everyone alike so boring. Boring. Makes me feel like everyone the same. Everyone you know named Jerry. You, your friends, and your folks named Jerry. You'd even call your dog, here, Jerry. And all the dogs would come on the run. That's scary. You know, even twins are not the same. They have different heartbeats, different brains, different fingerprints and feelings too. Different things that they like to do. I'm so glad we live in a rainbow world. Some have straight hair, some have curls, skin that's tan, pink, black, or brown. Different languages, different sounds. Some voices high and some deep down. I'm glad that we're not boring. Boring. Everyone alike so boring. Boring. I'm glad to be the only me like crayons. Different shapes and colors to make a rainbow beautiful. We need everyone, sing it with me, to make a rainbow beautiful. We need everyone. Thank you.
That was awesome. What talent we have in this group. I love it. All right. Our interlude and offering is an opportunity for you to support the work of organizations in our community as well as what goes on in our congregation here. This music will be a hymn sung by everyone, and Janet is going to lead us, and Alicia is going to accompany us.
I told everyone that all music needs to be introduced today, and I am breaking my own rule. But I just say this is one of my favorite hymns when I was growing up. I'm going to talk a lot more about music later, so. But this is one of my favorite hymns growing up. And we're going to sing the last three verses. So if you're using the hymnal, just skip to the second verse. We're going to start in the second verse. Oh, I'm so sorry. Is that up there? It's number 36. And do you feel like standing up or? No, not interlude. Nothing. No. Okay. Too hard with the interlude. Okay. How often making music we have found a new dimension in the world of sound, as worship moved us to a more profound Hallelujah. So has the church in liturgy and song, in faith and love through centuries of wrong, borne witness to the truth in every tongue. remain to be tuned for praise. Let all rejoice who have a voice to raise, and may God give us faith to sing always. Hallelujah.
All right. It's all good. It's all good. We decided that on Music Sunday we needed to all sing in the same key for the children's recessional. So children are welcome to go back. If they want to stay for music, they're welcome to stay. We love you and bless you and send you on your way. We love you and bless you today and every day. Wonderful. Thank you so much. All right. Well, hooray for Music Sunday. We've got a great program with some musics and thoughts about music. A lot of people have put time and effort to get this all pulled together, led by Janet Levins, and she's going to go ahead and start us off.
Here at WUF, music is an integral part of worship. Whether it be hymn singing, performances by our band or choir, instrumental interludes, or even sometimes pre-recorded music, we've always included some music in our services, at least as long as I can remember. Of course, this hardly makes our fellowship unique. Most UU churches, as indeed most faith traditions around the world, draw on music in worship. And why might this be? There are many answers to this question, as music works in many different ways. But the key is that music does indeed work upon us. It transforms us, often for the better. At the most basic level, music, both listened to and performed, simply makes us feel good. Music has been shown to release endorphins, our pain and stress-relieving hormones, a little like exercise does. But, as we all know, music is so much more than simply a feel-good physical activity. From antiquity, writers have noted music's odd power over our emotions. Music can calm the anguished, energize fatigued, call us into joy, kindle affection, give a cathartic release for sadness and fear, and even make us laugh. Shaping our emotions while we are together makes music, as Stephanie has noted, a wonderful practice for building community. Feeling together through music can be an end in itself, or can help give energy to collective projects, whether these be faith-related, political, or even more mundane. Throughout much of history, people sang as they worked. Women spinning together sang spinning songs, fishermen sung sea chanties. There were songs sung in many different cultures by hunters, herders, and agricultural workers. These songs sometimes were imposed from above in order to make work more efficient, but also functioned as a way for workers, both enslaved and free, to affirm a collective identity and even to protest their condition. We feel and live through music. Music helps build community and can take the form of collective resistance to oppression. And yet, music is still more than this. Music is so intimate, so physical, so present, and yet, at the same time, mysterious. We've all heard it said that music is a universal language. But if it is a language, what is it telling us? Very often, this question isn't even asked in the first place. When I first started thinking of this service a month or so ago, I thought, let me look for a history of music in Unitarian Universalism. And indeed, I found some works. But almost all the discussion I found that was ostensibly about music was actually about text. how traditional hymn texts were rewritten, and then the resulting Unitarian versions were rewritten again, as, for example, in the 1970s and 80s when traditionally gendered language was reworked to be more inclusive. This is all very interesting and worthwhile, but it is arguably not really a discussion of the history of music, as music is not text. Music cannot be said to mean what the text means, as music always exceeds the text, even as it heightens its emotional impact. It is precisely in this lack of clear meaning that resides, I believe, music's ultimate transformative power. In stirring our emotions and binding us to each other, music and its intense, energetic ambiguity opens onto the unseen, the otherworldly, the spiritual. It fuels our imagination and inspires us to envision what could be. The pieces you have heard and the songs already sung have celebrated and hopefully embodied music's powers. I invite you to enjoy the rest of the service as we continue sharing music's transformative gifts with each other. All right, inclusion is going to play next. This is another example of the talent in our congregation. This is a song you may be familiar with, however, the lyrics were reworked by our own John Mowbray.
Hi, everybody. So in 2013, I took my youngest son and a friend to see the movie 42, which is a biopic of Jackie Robinson's integration of Major League Baseball. It made me realize how little I knew about a towering icon, not just a baseball player, but as a human being and a civil rights activist. Around that time, I was also trying to learn how to play Simon and Garfunkel's Mrs. Robinson. As I was learning the song, I remember asking myself, what the heck are they trying to say in this song? Is there any hidden meaning I'm missing? The song introduces some of the strangest topics. It never really develops them or resolves them. Put it in the pantry with your cupcakes. Going to a candidates debate. Where have you gone, Joe DiMaggio? The reference to Joltin' Joe just turned on a light bulb within me, and I decided to write lyrics about Jackie Robinson to the music of Mrs. Robinson. I understand that some folks might view changing any part of this classic piece of Americana as blasphemy. I hope it doesn't offend anyone here today. Anyway, Paul Simon and Joe DiMaggio did meet a number of years after the song came out, and Joe questioned why he was asking where he had gone. After all, he has been a spokesperson for Mr. Coffee for quite a while. After the encounter, Simon said, I didn't mean the lines literally, just that I thought of him as an American hero, and that genuine heroes were in short supply. Fair enough, but no disrespect to you, Mr. DiMaggio, but I want to sing the praises of Jackie Robinson.
Do we have a word something? I think so. Yes, we do. I hope you'll sing along.
others would deny. Mr. Robinson received the prize before the Dodger God bless you, please, Mr. Robinson. Hopeless people wanna have their say. Hey, some place that lies within men's hearts. Teaching us to keep your courage. It's a mighty concept, just a pacifist approach. Through it all, you kept your grace and dignity. Look at you, Mr. Robinson, received the prize before the Dodger blew. God bless you, please, Mr. Robinson. Hopeless people wanna have their say. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Sitting at the counter with the other activists. His many struggles. Crying out and shouting out, you made all your dues. Today we care for the children. That is saying, Mr. Robinson, Black Lives Matter deserves to have its say. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. We're sorry. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey.
Next is going to be We Shall Overcome, and we're going to be led by Paula Despang.
Before I tell you about that, I'm going to tell you about this. I've always been a person moved by music in that I hear the lyrics, and that gives me one layer of meaning, and then I hear the music, and that gives me another layer of meaning. And when I get them put together properly, I can memorize them very easily. I have that kind of brain. People wonder how I do it. Mostly I just tell them that, there's toys in my attic. But everybody has toys in their attic, and this is my kind, okay? So, but I've often been moved by music. Our word motion and our word emotion both come from the same root, to move. And so here we are with music. The song, We Shall Overcome, has its roots way back in the early 1700s, but that wasn't the title of it. It was I'll Overcome Someday. And then it, like a lot of songs, before most songs have not been written down. Sure, classical composers did, but folk and gospel writers, they didn't write that mess down. They just sang it and played it their own way, each one their own way, and then it got passed down to a friend who came from another town, and then it got passed to another generation. And so it's morphed. And for a really good example of that in our time, there are some of you who have learned to sing in our national anthem in a classical kind of way. Yes, you all remember, some of you remember that. Some of you have no idea what I'm talking about. But we've all heard some other styling / rendition at a sporting event or some other public venue, which sounds nothing like the one we were taught in grade school, right? And so you can see the original, you can hear the original version in it, but it's so different. You know, what you're hearing this soloist doing with their voice. And so you should know that this song is also one that evolved and mutated, or however you want to talk about it. The nearest thing to a modern version of this song was sung by tobacco workers led by Lucille Simmons during 49 through 46 Charleston Cigar Factory strike. They went on strike, and they didn't just march around with signs. They sang this song while they marched because they were being underpaid and mistreated, and you know, they were women, mostly women, and many of them were black, and they were being treated as less than, and some of them couldn't go to work or couldn't keep their jobs without enduring levels of sexual harassment. Nowadays, you can get arrested for that. You can get a big fat lawsuit for that. But back in those days, there was no protection for workers from that sort of thing. And so these were the kinds of things that they were on strike about. So the music got passed down and shifted around. Pete Seeger got his hands on it and changed it from "we will overcome" to "we shall overcome." He says, it just, you can make it resonate better. The word shall, you can go shall, but it's harder to go will, the I sound doesn't, it's harder to work with and make it sound cool. So, you know, people make changes for just that kind of reason. It seems silly, but there you are. The song became associated with our civil rights movement here in this country, Guy Carawan stepped in with his and Seeger's version as song leader at Highlander, which was focused on nonviolent civil rights activism. This quickly became the movement's unofficial anthem. Seeger and other famous folk singers of the early 60s, such as Joan Baez, sang the song at rallies, folk festivals. I listened to Joan singing it while I was preparing this. And other concerts in the North, and helped make it widely known. Since its rise to prominence, the song and songs based on it have been used in a variety of protests worldwide. Now, I say worldwide, I'm not kidding. I gotta change the page here. So, I want to tell you of places this song has gone and things it's been used for. Whoops. Okay, these lyrics have shown up in speeches, political speeches. Joan Baez led a crowd of 300,000 people sing "We Shall Overcome" at the Lincoln Memorial during Philip Randolph's March on Washington. This was back in '63, August of '63, and President Johnson himself, a Southerner, used the phrase "we shall overcome" in addressing Congress in a speech delivered about violent Bloody Sunday attacks on civil rights demonstrations during the Selma to Montgomery marches, thus legitimizing the protest movement. King recited the words from "We Shall Overcome" in his final sermon, which he didn't know it was going to be his final sermon, but so it was. He had done so in a similar sermon and that was in 68. He had done so in a similar sermon in 65 to an interfaith congregation at Temple Israel in Hollywood, California. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. Deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome. I mean, there's no holding that back. But it's not just been here in the States. It's been in labor movements and political movements around the world. In Northern Ireland, when Catholic people wanted to be able to vote and make their own decisions about their lives, and they wanted to be able to get good jobs. In India, in South Africa, they had their own apartheid problem. That, a little embarrassment. Okay, and then in India, when they were going through their struggles between Muslim and Hindu, that whole, I shouldn't call it a kerfuffle, should I? It was a very painful time. And everybody involved in it needed some respect. And so it's even been sung in Prague when they were trying to assert their own independence against the whole communist regime. So you can see and translate it and put it to work. And we are going to sing it now. And I think I've got some lyrics up here on the wall if I'm lucky. And I'm going to turn around this way and do this because I didn't write down the lyrics for myself. Ah, I'm good. Can we have some music? Thank you. Yes. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we'll walk hand in hand someday. We shall all be free. We shall all be free. We shall all be free someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall all be free someday. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall live in peace someday. Thank you so much.
All right. If the choir wants to go ahead and come up. The next piece of music is going to be sung by our Triple U Choir.
There is sweet music here. The text of this piece is taken from Alfred Lord Tennyson's poem, The Lotus Eaters. Music is used metaphorically in the text to describe the pleasing, lulling, narcotic effects of a lotus eater's sustenance. But Greg Gilkin's musical setting of the text attempts, through various musical devices, to embody the meaning of the poetry. So, if you're looking all more relaxed, and even, dare I say it, half asleep after this piece, we know our music will have had its hoped for effect.
Can we do that again?
Thank you.
Sweet music here. There is sweet music here. That soft and pleasant petals on the roses on the ground. On branches on still waters between walls of shadowy granite. There is sweet music here. There is sweet music here. Music that gentle the spirit lies.
And tired eyes upon tired eyes.
Music that brings sweet sleep, that brings sweet sleep, that brings sweet sleep down from the blue skies. There is sweet music here. There are cool marshes deep and through the mossy ivies creep, and in the stream the long-leaved flowers weep, and from the craggy ledge the poppy hangs in sleep. In sleep. In sleep. There is sweet music here. Sweet music.
Here is a hymn that you're probably familiar with. It's Blue Boat Home. The congregation's going to sing, led by Stephanie Messler, accompanied by John Mowbray and Larry Vida. you all. That's one of the favorites here. Let's see, I believe, yes, choir is next again.
To Music is a choral arrangement of a very well-known art song by Franz Schubert. In the text of this song, music is addressed directly and thanked for all it gives, for its ability to draw the singer away from her troubled world, reminding her of love and bearing her away to a better world.
Blessed light that brightens all around me. When sorrows come and pleasure cease to be, you cheer my heart. Your comfort falls as dewdrops in hope I go renewed, refreshed, restored. I go renewed, refreshed, restored.
Oh, sweetest music, harmony so lovely,
enwrap my soul, surround me with your peace. Speak to me when darkness hides the sunlight. With heart of thanks I know the joy you bring. I know the joy you bring.
Inclusion will now do their piece.
Is this on? Yes. So was it Monty Python that said, and now for something totally different? When most people hear the name of Jimi Hendrix, they think of fuzz-induced psychedelic songs like Purple Haze, Voodoo Child, Slight Return, and other classics. Some will also think of a guitarist that broke barriers both sonically as well as how the guitar was played, period. Today, Inclusion would like to present another side of Hendrix by playing his song, Bold as Love. It highlights a totally different side of Hendrix, both as a guitarist as well as a lyricist. The song recognizes all of our human emotions and expresses them as vivid colors, but ultimately tells us that we are bold as love. This speaks to me as a UU because our affirmation reminds us that love is the spirit of this church. Reverend Tracy and other speakers challenge us to practice our love for all, especially those marginalized in our society, and bring that out into the greater community and try to make a difference. Excuse me. One last point on Hendrix as a love child and pacifist. There's a quote that is attributed to him that goes, "When the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace." While he got credit for that, it was actually William Ellery Channing that said that, who of course is a famous Unitarian minister in the 19th century. So maybe another cool thing about Hendrix is he was a Unitarian Universalist.
Gives me a chance to talk. So, Jimi Hendrix. Never thought I'd be doing this. But hey, it's a lot of fun and you'll like the song and it makes me want to shake my, well, you know. And I think it'll make you want to do that too. So wait for instructions. Or not. Or not. Yes. Oh yes, they're coming.
Oh, we have a fake drummer.
I need a note first.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Anger, he smiles, tyrant, shiny metallic, purple armor, queen jealousy, envy waits behind him. Her fiery green gown sneers at the grassy ground. Blue are the life-giving waters taken for granted. They quietly understand. Once happy turquoise armies lay opposite ready, but wonder why the fighting's on. But they're all bold as love. Yeah, they're all bold as love. Yeah, they're all bold as love. Just ask the Axis. My red is so confident. He flashes more and trophies of euphoria. Orange is young and full of daring, but very unsteady for the first go round. My yellow in this case is not so mellow. In fact, I'm trying to say it's frightening like me. And all those emotions of mine keep holding me from giving my life to a rainbow like you. But I'm bold, bold as love. Yes, I'm bold, bold as love. Yeah, we're all bold as love. Just ask the Axis. He knows everything. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Please join me. We extinguish this flame, but not light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And our closing music is a classic song, Hey Jude.
Hey Jude, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. Remember to let it into your heart. Then you can start to make it better. Hey Jude, don't be afraid. You were made to go out and get her. The minute you let her under your skin, then you begin to make it better. Anytime you feel the pain, hey Jude, refrain. Don't carry the world upon your shoulders.
All right, thank you, everybody. Before I do my closing words, I do just want to say one thing. I want to thank you to John Mowbray, who will be leaving us in a few months. We'll be very sad. John has kept music going in this congregation through his patient, gentle leadership for many years. We are so grateful for all the music you brought us, so thank you.
Every step of the way, through every aspect, phase of this band, so you're good.
Thank you both. My closing words are by Leslie Garrett. Music is the most profound, magical form of communication there is. So thank you to everyone who worked to make today magical. And then we have a lovely postlude by Alicia Tron. Thank you, Alicia. And today, rather than saying go in peace, I'll say go in music. I did.